Understanding women's thoughts is an intriguing journey that piques many people's curiosity and inspires a desire to examine more closely how they think and behave. Their words and deeds serve as essential clues that demand males to be perceptive and perceptive, whether it's in understanding women's psychology through casual discussions or nonverbal cues. Not only increases understanding but also directs choices in relationships with wisdom. But not all indications are always favorable. Certain phrases, and if ignored, a woman's actions can have a big influence on love. And today, let's discover 10 things that a woman's words could cause a re-evaluating the partnership and considering whether she actually appreciates your investment, which goes beyond self-awareness to include making wise decisions for your future requires understanding and objectivity. Examine the intricacies of connections that foster moral principles. Before we begin, I urge you to cultivate deep and lasting relationships within yourself. You can demonstrate your support by liking the video and becoming a channel subscriber. Keep reading through to the finish, since every point matters and could disclose new insights inside of you. Let's begin. First, it's always about first number. Her guys frequently battle with the notion that they should suppress their feelings and refrain from talking too much about their daily lives, which can lead to feelings of loneliness, particularly when they attempt to share personal information with their spouses. They are dismissed or disregarded. It's like saying, "Hey, I trust you with my feelings," when things get difficult. Experiences, but when that confidence is betrayed or diverted to something unimportant, Imagine being ecstatic when you finally get that huge promotion at work. Full with pride, you want to tell your spouse about this wonderful news in the hopes that she will join you. Thrill, but she seems more interested in discussing the newest gadgets or fashion trends. Claiming that your major event is irrelevant, let's discuss something I've discovered crucial. But this kind of imbalance can seriously damage a relationship. Like the minor hobbies of one person are more important than their accomplishments and feelings. That's not how a good partnership should function. Consider Epicurus's statement that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, which is a sophisticated way to allow us to hear twice as much as we talk. Means of expressing how crucial it is for partners to listen to and care for one another's belongings. It's about demonstrating compassion, sharing in victories, and supporting one another through thick and thin. Being able to tell if your partner is selfish. Providing adequate emotional support is essential. It's about appreciating who you are and sometimes having a heart-to-heart conversation to resolve issues is necessary for emotional well-being. At other times, it could require making difficult choices regarding the relationship. Manner, it's about finding contentment and pleasure in a partnership based on mutual support and respect. Number 2, I'm currently busy. As everyone knows, work can be really demanding. Part 2. Like everyone else, you have a 9-to-5 work as a guy. Despite your hectic schedule, you are able to put your family first, which demonstrates your family is very important to you, and you make time for them despite your busy schedule. Crucial duties. This harmony between work and home obligations is admirable and says a lot about your ability to set priorities and your dedication to your loved ones. According to the ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca, we suffer and are more often scared than harmed. This quotation highlights the significance of greater imagination than actuality. Viewpoint and fortitude in overcoming obstacles in life. It motivates us to approach circumstances logically, realizing that our anxieties and impressions are frequently inflated. More challenges than the situation actually calls for, but when a partner consistently fails to show up or fails to take action, it is cause for concern. She responds with justifications like being preoccupied with work or too busy to converse when you yell at her, which is crucial. To understand that when someone cherishes a relationship, they make time for their spouse a priority, regardless of mutual respect and open communication, are essential tenets of their commitments. In any wholesome partnership, and it's imperative to resolve any disagreements or issues with essentially keeping a balance between work and empathy and understanding. Although one's personal life is important, relationships require sincere interest and effort, should never be neglected or compromised in order to establish solid relationships. Calls for constant effort, communication, and a shared commitment to setting priorities. The happiness and well-being of one another, which was the third thing my ex used to do. Number 3, that it is typically regarded as improper to brood over the past when in a relationship. Partnerships, if your spouse brings about their former lover on a regular basis. This behavior can appear in a number of contexts, including when she says, "My ex had great taste in clothes," as they are shopping together. Have adored this ensemble. Even though these remarks may seem harmless, they can cause. It's crucial to address emotions of inadequacy and insecurity in your current relationship. To understand that continuously contrasting you with her previous relationships is not. This circumstance fits with the ideal conditions for establishing a strong and trustworthy partnership. The Stoic idea of concentrating on what we can manage, as described by Epictetus, utilize what you can and take the rest as it comes. Reminiscing about old relationships is uncontrollable, so it's important to put your emotional health by continuously bringing up such behaviors in a relationship. Previous partnerships could suggest that your significant other hasn't really moved on or is utilizing the existing partnership as a diversion from unsolved feelings, which may result in you becoming a rebound companion instead of someone selected with sincere interest and connection. It's critical to understand these tendencies and resist being utilized as a transient emotional crutch if you observe that your partner brings up their former a lot or appears to. If you can't let go of the past, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship. Happiness and emotional well-being shouldn't be sacrificed, and continuing in such a state can result in needless heartache. Having candid discussions about expectations and boundaries in the partnership is vital, but if these conversations don't result in constructive improvements, it might be great for you to think about moving on, but keep in mind that putting your health first is not self-serving. It's a necessary component of being healthy. Relationship number 4. You're to blame is a serious warning sign that many guys. Number 4 often ignore in partnerships is when a woman persistently declines to. This behavior goes beyond simple apologies or acceptance of responsibility for her acts. Oversight or sporadic miscommunications, it indicates a more profound pattern of conduct that can greatly affect the relationship's dynamics. In these circumstances, if you make a mistake, she wants you to apologize and ask for forgiveness in whatever way you can. Inconsequential, but when she acts or behaves in a wrong manner, inexplicably, she places the responsibility on you and exonerates herself of any. She avoids taking responsibility for her actions instead of owning up to her mistakes and cooperating to find a solution. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Onto you" creates an unbalanced and unhealthy dynamic. As they say, it doesn't matter what happens to you. What counts is how you respond to it. This timeless advice emphasizes how crucial reflection and responsibility are to navigating life's difficulties, especially those in wholesome relationships. Thrive on candid communication, respect for one another, and shared accountability. Partners must be ready to own up to their errors, offer real apologies, and cooperate toward healing and development. By ignoring or downplaying her own flaws while exaggerating yours, she not only erodes the basis of confidence and respect, but it also feeds a vicious cycle of resentment and blame. Crucial to identify this warning indicator and address it with clarity and maturity. It's important to keep in mind that mutual respect is the foundation of relationships. Accountability and comprehension, whereas forgiveness and gratitude are key elements that both partners must value and reciprocate. If she routinely avoids taking responsibility for her actions or declines to try to improve conflict resolution and communication resolution, it might point to more serious emotional and mature problems. Intelligence, hence it's critical to evaluate the general health and relationship compatibility, despite how challenging it may be. Breaking up with someone who exhibits these imbalances might lead to personal development, and finding a mate is the top priority in the search for more satisfying relationships. Who considers responsibility, empathy, and respect for others to be important traits? The fifth journey highlights the fundamentals of a meaningful and long-lasting relationship. Number 5. Faults. The ability to communicate honestly and constructively is a vital component of a healthy relationship. In addition to listening to your feelings and views, your spouse should offer helpful criticism that allows you to develop personally, rather than always pointing out defects or deficiencies. They should encourage and inspire you to reach your full potential. This method cultivates a feeling of respect and trust, fostering a nurturing atmosphere where both, on the other hand, partners can flourish both individually and together. Constantly diminishes your ambitions or your sense of self. It's a blatant red flag indicating possible relationship toxicity. Being able to express oneself authentically and feeling at ease in your own flesh are essential rights in a healthy collaboration if these crucial components are jeopardized because of negativity. Or it might be time to re-evaluate the dynamics of the ongoing criticism. Understanding the warning signs in a relationship is crucial to maintaining a happy and healthy relationship. When you're with your partner, it should be a place where mutual support and a feeling of safety allow them to flourish. Their responsibility goes beyond. It goes beyond simple friendship to include fostering your development and making sure that you have a firm foundation because you feel appreciated and confident in yourself. Founded on optimism and love is not only advantageous but also essential for the relationship to thrive and develop favorably over time, according to the sage advice. According to the Stoic philosopher Seneca, there is always a chance for generosity. This timeless phrase captures the spirit of fostering connections founded on kindness, understanding, and support by choosing to. Being surrounded by people who support and foster your development is consistent with the Stoic idea of concentrating on moral conduct and deep relationships. Eventually putting your personal development and emotional health create the foundation for a happy and relationship enrichment journey. Number 6. I am alone. Number 6. Otherwise, it's typical for women to turn to their boyfriends for emotional support, frequently uttering a statement. That's all too familiar, but it's important to define your role. You are her equal and comrade in the relationship, not her therapist, or your main duty as a problem solver is not to identify or address her mental health concerns or to bear the responsibility of resolving every issue she encounters. Even if it's normal to want to be the hero and offer steadfast assistance, it's critical to understand the limitations of your position if she seems overburdened or powerless, but it doesn't mean you should jump in. By taking on the position of a savior, you unintentionally promote dependency and could lead to an unhealthy dynamic where she depends too much on you for emotional stability. Instead, she actually needs the knowledge and direction of a qualified counselor or psychiatrist who can offer specialized mental health support. This expert help surpasses what you, as a spouse, can provide. This guarantees that she receives all-encompassing care for her health. Neglecting to recognizing and honoring these limits can cause tension and animosity in the being. The fixer in a relationship over time can have a negative impact on your mental and emotional well-being, resulting in irritation or feelings of inadequacy. Drawing motivation from the Epicus, a Stoic philosopher, is credited with saying, "First, ask yourself what you might be, and then complete the necessary tasks." We are reminded of the significance of being self-aware and establishing reasonable expectations by knowing your constraints and concentrating on your personal health. You can develop a healthier dynamic of the partnership, which could even entail being forthright and honest discussions about getting expert assistance and motivating her to take charge of her mental health journey. Putting your own emotional well-being first and preserving a more balanced and satisfying connection might result from having defined boundaries. Number 7. It was nothing that would ultimately help you and your partner. Number 7. Finding out that your partner is cheating on you is definitely a serious matter. It's one of the most devastating things that can happen to someone in a relationship. It goes right to the heart of the foundation of any meaningful relationship between two people is trust. When such treachery takes place, it not only destroys the romantic bond, but additionally undercuts the understanding and respect that ought to exist between. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca correctly pointed out, partners, a lack of trust is the first stride toward disintegration. The fallout from adultery is frequently characterized by a turbulent range of feelings, from despair and rage to shock and incredulity. It forces a re-evaluation of the shared ideals and commitments and challenges one's beliefs about the relationship. That seems unbreakable at first. The betrayed spouse may struggle with emotions of insufficiency, wondering what they could have done better to avoid such a betrayal of confidence. During times like these, becomes essential to put mental health and self-respect first. While the unfaithful partner could try to minimize the seriousness of their behavior by claiming that it was a one-time incident, it's critical to acknowledge the seriousness of the once damaged. Situational trust is difficult to restore. Requiring frequent assurances may seem hollow given previous betrayals, yet the act of infidelity is more than just having a sexual relationship with someone. Raises questions since it shows a basic disrespect for the relationship's emotional purity and insecurity by means of the love and friendship that was established. Ultimately, deciding to terminate an affair-tainted relationship is not an indication of weakness, but instead a confirmation of one's dignity and self-worth. It is a brave move to embrace integrity, honesty, and the pursuit of sincere relationships founded on respect and trust. Are as difficult as they might be to leave a relationship that is rife with betrayal alone. Prolongs the emotional upheaval and keeps both people from experiencing genuine fulfillment, and being overly sensitive is happiness number 8. Oh, you're being overly sensitive. Number 8. When directed toward you, this seemingly innocuous comment can have serious consequences. Being sensitive isn't enough for a significant other. You also need to show respect, and in a relationship, it might be discouraging when your spouse lacks empathy. Amusement in making fun of your shortcomings, or discounting your sincere losses as insignificant when you muster the strength to confront these cruel behaviors, rather than when you receive sympathy or an apology, you get a contemptuous remark. The argument that is frequently made regarding your sensitivity is that one should be able to roll. There is a thin line between the punches showing mental toughness in the face of taunts or criticism, between friendly conversation and cruel behavior, particularly when it's as the Stoic philosopher Epicus famously stated, a companion should be a source of understanding and support. What matters in this sentiment is not what occurs to you, but rather how you respond to it, is also true in partnerships when your partner not just doesn't. It's a warning sign when someone acknowledges your legitimate emotions but turns them against you. Insults that are solely made under the pretext of jokes or comparisons to other achievements serve to undermine your self-esteem. Thus, it's important to understand. When these exchanges turn poisonous and harmful to your health, surround yourself with people who, supporting and fostering your development, is crucial for pleasure and personal improvement, and it's acceptable to demand respect, love and understanding from your spouse, and it's important to establish limits when relationships should be a source of support and assistance if those expectations are not fulfilled. Being positive is not a never-ending struggle to demonstrate your fortitude in the face of hurt. Number 9. Remark number 9. In many relationships, women tend to take the lead. Coordinating their male partner's activities, they may ask about planning or hanging out with pals, which is generally good and demonstrates a wholesome partnership in which partners encourage one another's social lives. But if this, the Stoic, becomes troublesome when care transforms into domineering behavior. Epicus, a philosopher, reportedly stated that the only worthwhile objective According to this quote, life is won when we ignore things that are beyond of our control, highlights how crucial it is to preserve individual autonomy and resist giving under to excessive influence in partnerships. If your spouse starts requesting compliance or requests that you give up your interests and social time, which is a red flag. Although she is allowed to have preferences regarding your pals, limiting your time with them is, if she gives you ultimatums and insists that you choose between, remember, it's time to reevaluate the relationship with her or your pals. Your freedom and happiness come first, and giving them up for someone else's. Epictetus's lessons warn us that control is unhealthy and that we should put our own independence and well-being first. Above all, good communication is essential for overcoming these obstacles within open and sincere dialogue regarding needs, boundaries and expectations can promote mutual healthy partnerships flourish when there is a balance between personal goals and common interests. Experiences that enable both partners to keep up relationships with friends, and it's important to understand that you can follow your own interests without feeling restricted or in control. Warning indicators like demands that make a partner choose between the wisdom of social circles. Epictetus serves as a reminder that putting aside one's own for the sake of maintaining the status quo in a relationship, happiness and freedom are not mutual support, and respect are the foundation of long-lasting, genuine relationship fulfillment. For personal liberty and the freedom to follow one's own interests and relationships outside of a relationship. Ultimately, if a relationship stifles personal development and fulfillment or becomes suffocating, it can be necessary to re-evaluate your priorities and make choices that put your general well-being first. The lessons of Epictetus are still relevant today, encouraging people to find balance between their particular liberties, and with deep ties in the 10th relationship, you are 10th number. A relationship can be severely damaged by suspicions of infidelity, leading to a great deal of mistrust and animosity if not managed appropriately. Thus, it's crucial to handle these kinds of circumstances with compassion and understanding, while also defending your rights and what you believe to be correct in a healthy relationship. Trust is the foundation upon which all else rests, giving both parties a sense of security and worth. Yet when suspicions and uncertainties lead trust to erode, which can make everything feel unstable if someone accuses you of cheating without providing any concrete evidence. It's crucial to attempt to determine the cause of their emotions, often based on past experiences. Being insecure or simply not speaking honestly might cause someone to feel extremely envious and suspicious. It's critical to discuss these emotions openly and without placing blame on one another, so that you may both understand. Understand the other person's perspective and resolve it together, as the old proverb, "Believe in yourself and others will believe you," which entails staying. Even when times are difficult, it's crucial to be true to your principles and convictions, to establish limits and address any actions that violate your privacy, or persistently making unfounded accusations against you if you see indications of suspicion. It's crucial to handle early situations gently, such as when your partner goes through your belongings or inquires about your whereabouts often. And politely communicating well, showing respect for one another, and dealing with issues together can strengthen your bond and aid in re-establishing trust. But if charges persist, despite your attempts to resolve them, it may be necessary to seek outside assistance or rethink the relationship completely, because unfounded claims of infidelity can cause a lot of pain. A relationship and both parties, by establishing trust, communicating honestly, and couples who respect one another may overcome adversity and emerge stronger, as the proverb goes. Gaining others' trust requires having faith in oneself, demonstrating the significance of remaining loyal to oneself, even in challenging circumstances. As we wrap off today's conversation, let's review the crucial and final results, important principles needed to maintain a positive relationship while negotiating a happy and satisfying relationship with a lady requires a number of essential components that are non-negotiable. In order to guarantee a solid basis and mutual understanding, it is essential to examine these elements. Like everyone else, women are greatly impacted by their companions, their feelings, which frequently influence how they respond and make decisions. But the need for coherence and reason, is not overshadowed by emotional depth. Keeping a sense of mutual respect at the forefront of relational exchanges is, above all, this includes treating one another with respect, compassion, and respect is useful even when there is disagreement or difficulty, as the foundation upon which appreciation of trust and sincere connection are developed inside the partnership, and good communication is essential to promoting comprehension and settling disputes via candid and open dialogue. Permits partners to openly communicate their needs, wants, and thoughts, establishing a secure environment for vulnerability. And closeness, it entails attentive listening, empathy, and a readiness to appreciate one another's viewpoints without passing judgment or becoming defensive. As well as communication about common values and objectives is crucial to a satisfying partnership that aligns on core ideals, even though disagreements can be enriching. The relationship between spouses is strengthened by qualities like honesty, integrity, and commitment. Gives people a feeling of purpose and unity, which encourages cooperation and support amongst them. Building trust is also essential for overcoming obstacles in life and sharing triumphs with one another. A healthy relationship requires trust, which is developed via dependability, transparency, and consistency. It entails being trustworthy and keeping promises in both words and deeds. By honoring limits, trust is the cornerstone of emotional stability and permits people to be vulnerable and genuine without worrying about criticism or betrayal. Additionally, it's critical to encourage one another's personal development and self-care in the partnership. Personal goals, interests, and self-care routines promote a healthy and leading happy lives as a couple and as individuals, promoting self-expression. Self-discovery and development deepens the connection by honoring each. On the other hand, disregarding warning signs or putting up with toxic behaviors it's critical to address problems like manipulation that endanger the relationship's well-being. Early on, show disdain or a lack of empathy, and if necessary, seek professional assistance. Self-respect A dedication to mental wellness and sound limits are essential to establishing a long-lasting and satisfying collaboration. In conclusion, a satisfying and balanced connection with a woman necessitates a multidimensional strategy that emphasizes mutual respect, communication, trust, personal development, and mental health. By carefully and devotedly fostering these components, mutual love can be the foundation of a solid and long-lasting relationship between partners. Encourage comprehension and a common future goal during this journey of establishing and maintaining a successful relationship takes constant work, comprehension, and flexibility as partners grow stronger as they work through life's challenges together and deeper with every story I share. I appreciate you coming along on this journey to comprehend women's thoughts and actions. I appreciate you being here while we explore a subject that is both intriguing and crucial for enhancing our interpersonal connections, and I have faith that the information and viewpoints expressed today have provoked reflection and provided insightful information that can influence how you connect with the ladies in your life. If you found the ideas presented to be relatable, helpful, I encourage you to leave your thoughts and experiences in the space provided for comments beneath this video. In addition to fostering a sense of community, input helps us shape the future. Information that speaks to your particular interests and worries successfully. Also make sure to watch the related videos here. These materials offer more richness and depth in the end screen. Conversations on relevant topics that give you a thorough grasp of the various aspects of human dynamics and relationships. I appreciate your investment, your time and focus on this investigation, and I look forward to our next adventure together, which will be full of enhancing conversations and fostering growth between us. Till our next meeting, taking care of each other. Relationships should be cultivated with empathy and understanding in order to be meaningful. Relationships and continued research.